Welcome back. Saving time and money on meals can be as simple as putting your freezer to use. And here to give us some tips and suggestions, we welcome Family and Consumer Sciences Extension Agent from Kenton County, Kathy Burns. Thank you for being with us
Thanks
today.
for having me.
Well, this is something that it seems folks used to do a lot of, and now it seems like there may be a resurgence of folks trying to prepare meals ahead of time and freeze them.
You're right. I think we all got used to eating out, eating quickly, eating on the run, and now we're settling down. We're growing our own vegetables, we're preserving them, and we're cooking more.
And what are some of the things that freeze well or are good ways to make the most out of using that storage?
Anything can be frozen. Some things do better than others, of course, but casseroles, meat mixtures, things like that can make your meals a little bit easier in the long run. Freeze really well. They're really easy to put together, and they can save you a lot of time, save you a lot of money, and they're just a big help.
And you brought some examples of some items that work well.
I did. We've got some chicken. We call it like a master mix. It's basically some whole chickens that I cooked ahead of time, let them cool, and then just packaged them to freeze. Or sometimes I'll just go ahead and make the mixtures ahead of time. Like we've got a chicken enchilada there that is really good. It's got a lot of black beans, a lot of other good stuff in it as well. And then also a chicken divan, a chicken and vegetable mixture. So both those dishes can be, you can freeze the chicken ahead or freeze the whole dish ahead and make it. And the other thing that I really like about it is you can make it into the size you need it. This is good for a family of one or much, much, much larger. Just package it for your needs.
And a lot of the questions that folks have are, what's the best way to freeze it? And I know you've brought some of the tools that you may need to be able to do that, because folks get worried about freezer burn and making sure it stays intact.
Yeah, and it does make a difference if you don't use the right tools. If you're going to use foil, you want to use the heavy-duty foil. Freezer paper works really well. There's a lot of containers out there on the market that are designed for freezer. Probably not your old margarine tins that a lot of us have been using, or old plastic lunch bags. They don't do so well. Those are the times when you get a lot of freezer burn. So you want to match it to the size of the item you're going to freeze. If I would put a little bit of that mixture in that big one, I'd get a lot more air left in there and a lot more opportunities for freezer burn. So that does make a difference.
And then, of course, after it's frozen, what's your advice on getting it thawed and cooked?
I'm so glad you asked that, because the days of us, I think some people are very guilty of putting it on the counter in the morning, and we know that really don't want to do that. A casserole like this, I would want to thaw in my refrigerator for 24 hours. I mean, it's all about being a little organized and making yourself do that. But depending on the size, overnight to 24 hours, depending on what you have. But you can also microwave thaw, but we want to cook it right away if we do that, because it will start to heat through and get in the food danger zone. So we want to be careful about that.
And as you mentioned, just planning ahead, a lot of folks say they can do this over the weekend and then have a week's worth of meals prepaid.
It's a great Saturday or Sunday thing. It's a great thing to do with friends or sisters, brothers, and that way if you make a lot of different things, you can trade it off and share.
Good idea. Yeah, I like that. Well, thanks so much for the information. And you see at the bottom of your screen the website for the Extension Service, and the Family and Consumer Sciences section of that webpage has a lot of great information and recipes and all kinds of great things that you can put to good use. Thanks so much for being with us. Some great tips. We will be right back with the Last Check of Your Forecast.